I'm heading a murder inquiry.
Ding dong, the bastard's gone.
Fight with me, Alice. Please. Fight, Alice.
I was falling apart. Everyone was smothering me with kindness. I couldn't stand it. But not Ethan. He treated me like a normal human being. I needed that. I didn't need him messing with my head, though. Ethan liked to control people, make them do things just for his entertainment.
And did Ethan control you? Did Ethan make you do things?
He made me learn how to shoot a gun. That's pretty good, too. How to gamble with the big boys, how to swing. Not the Dancing with the Stars kind of swinging either. Yeah, I know, I make myself sick.
That must have made you angry. Angry enough?
Actually, in the end, it was something else.
Alice, you can discuss this with me.
They need to understand the psycho, how he ticks. Ethan taped me, us, more than once. Of course, you've seen the tapes, haven't you?
Hmm.
He put them on the net. I'm a porn star because of the good Dr. Pierce.
That sounds like a reason to want him dead.
Alice,
Yes, it is a damn fine reason.
Did you kill Ethan Pierce?
Alice, you're under no obligation to answer that.
I want to answer because I'm glad he's dead. But like I keep saying, I admit it could have been me that pulled the trigger, but I was trash, so I don't know. And that's where you guys come in. Tests, facts, proof. Anytime soon, please.
Yes, I showed her the tapes. She needed to know who she was dealing with.
How considerate of you.
Alice didn't love Ethan. She didn't even comprehend him.
And you did? And if you couldn't have him, nobody could.
No, I would never have hurt Ethan.
Because you loved him?
I did.
But he didn't love you back, though, did he? Didn't choose you. We tired of the games, Brooke? Tired of being his toy?
No. He made me feel safe. His decisions for me were always right.
A real hero, huh?
He was. He taught me everything I know, literally. I would never have got through med school without him.
A hot young surgeon on the rise. Raking in the dough, handsome. What a catch. How long before you reeled him in?
Other way around, he reeled me.
Yeah, right.
He did. He made the first move.
Was this before or after he saw you on the internet?
Excuse me?
We've seen the tapes. All of them. The wig was a wee bit over the top, but it was definitely you. Younger you.
Everyone thought I was rich. I wasn't. I was broke. It was fast money.
I need a moment with my client.
Online sex, at least it's safe, right?
I did what I had to do to survive. I'm not ashamed.
It was a very intense relationship, Dr. Freeman, and everywhere I look, there's a motive for you pulling the trigger.
No. I loved Ethan unconditionally. I didn't kill him.
Yeah. It's just for a couple of days at least. Never mind. If you're busy, you're busy. Yeah, no, thank you. Bye.
Let me guess, locum hunting?
Yeah. I don't want Brooke under any more pressure than she already is.
Rest assured that management have heard your concerns and will do all they can to help. That's my way of saying that I'm the management, just for a little while anyway.
Management of what?
The whole place. Chief Executive Officer. No, I'm serious. Callum's out, I'm in. If I say yes, and that's why I'm here, to check in with you.
You are serious?
Yeah, this is where you tell me how clever I am for being given such an honour, how proud you are of me. I knew you would bum me out. Oh.
So, your symptoms are getting worse.
Yeah, can we just put the MS to the side for just a minute?
Well, no, I can't. You're supposed to be stress-free. Instead, you take on the hardest job in the building.
I'm doing it.
Well, then I don't know why you bothered checking in.
So, let me get this straight. His company takes out body parts from donors, marks them up, sells them on.
It's a perfectly legal practice.
If the donors give permission.
Of course.
What if they don't give permission? Elizabeth McLean, Jeffrey Davidson, Margaret Jones. All these people wanted to go to their graves in one piece. But oh no. Ethan got greedy, didn't he? Nothing like a bit of old-fashioned forgery. I don't think you knew Ethan very well at all, did you?
I knew him better than anyone.
Do you know Yvonne Jeffries?
Yes.
And that she has cancer from contamination?
That's just a nasty rumour.
Which is now a nasty fact. Ethan knew he was trying to cover it up. Understandably. Because his little company was raking in the dollars. Actually, make that euro. Hundreds and thousands of euro.
You'll need a new surgical consultant, of course. Good luck with that. Orthopedics conference, travel allocation. I wasn't happy with the quote.
Okay, do I talk to...
DHB agenda for next meeting. This will have to be amended, of course. You're lucky that DHB has so much respect for you, Sarah.
Thank you. And thank you for keeping quiet about my MS.
My only hope is that the job doesn't prove too much for you.
Libby, can you get Rob on the phone for me, please? If he's in surgery, tell him that it's urgent. Just leave a message.
Sure. And Detective Lamont is here to see you.
Something I can help you with, Detective?
I need access to private information on several of your staff members.
Which staff member? Actually, talk to Sarah. She's only too happy to help.
Bill Lamont, I'm conducting the police investigation into Nessa's bio and the death of Ethan Pierce.
Right. Sarah Potts, Shortland Street, acting CEO.
As I said to Callum, I need access to hospital personnel files, and I'll be conducting a series of interviews with the staff.
Yeah, hi, Libby. Oh, great. Put him through. Sorry, this is pretty urgent. Just book a time in with Libby. I could be a while. Hey, Rob. Yeah, you got the memo? I know, who'd believe it? Anyway, surgeons, talk to me. Yeah.
You and Alice, good mates?
She was my best man.
And when she hooked up with Ethan?
Oh, I didn't really like it.
You told her so?
With Alice, you don't really tell her what to do, what to think. It doesn't work like that.
She's not easily influenced.
No.
Except Ethan came pretty close to controlling her, didn't he?
He gave it a good go, but she's no pusher.
A gutsy lady.
Sure is.
Gutsy enough to shoot down the most despicable man she ever met.
The most despicable man she ever met was Joey Henderson. And I know for a fact that she would never have shot someone in cold blood. Not Joey, not Ethan, anyone.
Okay, I hear you. Brooke Freeman, which way to her room?
It's just down the hall, but she's not in. You can try calling my place. She's staying with us at the moment.
Don't tell me another admirer.
Hell no, she's just a colleague. We felt sorry for her.
A good doctor?
She wouldn't be at Shortland Street if she wasn't.
You're a bad liar, Dr. Samuels. Come on, off the record, what's the guts between you two?
We've had our differences.
Because she's a crap doctor?
Because she doesn't really like people, you know, bedside manner and all that. We kind of need it when you work with people.
You think she lacks compassion?
I just don't see why any of this is relevant.
Well, it's relevant because I'm wondering if she's capable of murder. And you're wondering the same thing, aren't you?
No.
Shouldn't take you that long to answer, though, should it?
Now, Chris is involved in the investigation, so there's no one to tutor his team. Now, technically, I know that's not my problem, but I bet he'll manage to make it sound like it's my problem. And we now have a backlog in elective surgery, and, oh yes, our head of surgery is deceased. So what am I going to do? I can make a couple of calls. The thing that's really bugging me is that no one twigged that Ethan was such a criminal. If he had, then none of this would have happened.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Kieran worked with him, didn't he?
Yes.
Well, couldn't he see how dodgy he was?
I don't.
I mean, there must have been something that gave him away, surely. What's wrong? Oh, no, you don't think that I was blaming Kieran, do you?
What's your association with Don Lennox?
There was no association. I was given a name. I passed the name on.
Who gave you the name?
Kieran Mitchell. I'm not quite sure how he got it.
Let's move on, shall we? What's your professional opinion of Ethan Pierce?
We ran separate units most of the time. When I did deal with him, I found him dangerously egotistical.
I heard he was brilliant.
Did you also hear that it's a miracle no one died under his knife?
Is this a professional rivalry or more of a personal one?
Because of Brooke.
She still had a thing for Ethan, right?
I don't think their relationship was quite over.
He was the love of her life, that's what she's telling me.
I could never see the big attraction myself.
It got you, didn't it? The woman you wanted somebody else. That's why you went to his home, to tell him to back off.
For the 10th time, he walked out of surgery. He risked a patient's life. I couldn't let him get away with that. Ask Luke Derville, anyone on the team.
Who's Luke?
The anaesthetist. Ethan had a go at him. He practically turned the operating room into a boxing ring.
What were they arguing about?
Ask Luke.
Don't worry. I will.
In all my years, I've never seen a surgeon walk out on a patient. If Ethan were alive today, I wouldn't know what to say to him. No, there are a few things I could mention.
Okay, that's work. I mean, I get all that. But I'm trying to build a picture of Ethan, the man. If you could help me out.
Of course.
Was he a heavy drinker?
Not really. But when he did drink, it was nothing but the best. At his party celebrating his appointment as head of surgery, the wine was $1,000 a bottle.
Tastes good?
Nectar of the gods.
Now, hang on, you didn't like the guy, right?
Not really.
But you went to his do?
It would have been rude not to go.
Of course. What about the ladies? I heard he was a real charmer.
Yes, he was a bit of an overachiever in that area.
And a bit he let all the boys know too. A real sand kicker.
You could say that.
What about you, Luke? I bet you're a bit of a charmer yourself.
Not really. Are we done?
Oh, just one more bit of paperwork, then we're done. After you finished up in theatre, what did you do? Where'd you go?
I got on the phone to the College of Surgeons to complain about Ethan.
Then what?
I went straight home and read a book.
Is there anyone that can verify that for us?
No, there isn't. Is that a problem?
Have a little pick-me-up, then take the rest of the day off. Go and see your mum.
I'm okay.
Are you sure? Thank goodness, because without you, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, who's in there?
Detective Lamont, he's been waiting about 15 minutes.
Oops. Sorry to keep you waiting, Detective.
Look, I realise you got a lot on your plate at present.
Yeah, I got caught up buying this. The queue was out the door.
There are several more staff interviews I need to cover. Much easier if I have an interview room set up here. I also need access to these personnel files, which I must stress if I...
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Really?
Hey, Libby, you can have access to any file you want in the building. Can you organise Detective Lamont a room for as long as he needs and also arrange access to all of the staff personnel files, both hard copy and database?
Sure. That's my boy, JJ.
It must have been hard for Alice, living in a house with a kid after she'd lost hers.
I know. I really worried about that, but she said she wasn't bothered.
Yet she still moved out.
It's understandable. Ethan's place is pretty flash.
So you've been there before?
Mm-hmm. Help yourself.
So, Alice stumbled in the door about...
After 1, might have been 1:30.
Drunk and mouthing off.
She was upset.
Declaring Ethan Pierce must die.
I don't remember the exact words, but nothing I could say would calm her down. She was extremely drunk. I'm surprised she could walk, let alone pick up a gun and actually aim properly.
So you let your extremely drunk, very good friend just walk out the door?
I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen.
Why don't you just go with her?
I wanted to see my mum. She was having her first session of chemotherapy.
All right.
But I ran out of time because I wanted to pick up my son from the pool. He was at a swimming lesson with a babysitter. I always feel like a bad mum if I'm not there.
What time was that?
2 o'clock-ish. It might have been a bit after because I remember I was late. Sophie, the babysitter, was already on her way back with JJ.
One last question, then I'm done.
Sure.
Do you blame Ethan for your mother's cancer?
Yes. Was his direct responsibility.
It must have been hard not to think about revenge.
Revenge wouldn't have helped my mother. I would have liked to see him stand trial and go to jail. For someone like Ethan, that would be worse than death.
I think I know what you mean.
So, if you find the killer, you can tell them that they didn't do us a favour.
Not if. When we find the killer.
Count me in.
Thank you.
Count me out.
Well, you'll be fully recompensed
I don't
for any
think you
hours.
understand. We are here to learn cutting-edge techniques.
Well, I don't think you understand. Our head of surgery was murdered.
Well, I guess we should do our bit then.
Thank you.
So how should we split the caseload?
Well, actually, Xavier, I have another plan for you, ED.
I'd rather just...
Please, wear a doctor down. Kip needs all the help he can get. Unless one of you two wants to. No, I didn't think so.
ED, on my way.
And you hit him back?
No.
Where and when did this take place?
In triage, just after he'd walked out of theatre.
Why didn't you report it? It's assault.
Well, I was going to call the police, but things got hectic upstairs. And the next minute, I heard he was dead.
He humiliated you personally, sold you shares in a corrupt company, gave life-threatening diseases to at least 2 of your patients. You must have been angry. Angry enough to take this man out of the game.
I would never resort to murder or any type of violence. But I understand now why someone did.
Who are you talking about?
I've no idea who shot him, but a staff member was suspended for physically attacking Ethan at work.
What provoked him?
Her. She claims Ethan set her up for a sexual harassment case against a female nurse.
She's a dyke. And her name is?
Maya Jeffries. It's all in her file.
What's that?
Your personnel file makes very interesting reading.
Only if you believe lies.
So you didn't assault Ethan. All the witnesses are liars. A senior nurse like you, putting her career on the line. Boy, he must have got under your skin.
Okay, so I lost it. But he had it coming. He gave my mother cancer and he didn't care one bit. No remorse, nothing.
Well, why didn't you tell me about this?
Because it's not relevant.
I think it is, because this isn't just about your mother. Ethan Pierce had something that you wanted, but you couldn't have. You were jealous.
As if I'd ever be jealous.
He had Alice Piper all to himself. You're very protective of her. And you like flirting with her online. And when she's not half cut, she's pretty hot, isn't she, Maya?
You rang?
Staffing problems. I have solved some, but not all.
One of the most difficult aspects of the job.
So you won't mind helping out?
Of course not.
In the PCC? I've lost Brooke to the police for goodness knows how long, and it's too much for TK on his own, and the locums are proving very difficult.
No.
Do I have to beg? Because I will. Come on, you could run that department blindfolded, standing on your head.
Excuse me, just a reminder about your interview with Mike Traynor.
He's the tough one, right?
You didn't see Callum's interview?
No, I missed it. How tough?
You know, on second thoughts, I'd love to step into the breach and help out with the PCC.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much.
And good luck with that interview. I'll be watching.
Ethan Pierce, did he treat you well?
He wasn't my boss, more of a silent partner kind of thing with Kieran. I just served him a couple of drinks, that's it.
Kane Harvey and Kingi Wake, you serve them a few drinks too?
I'm not sure I know them.
Mate, it's best if you answer me honestly. Covering for Kieran won't do him nor you any favours in the long run.
Okay, they worked together on the dance parties, but that was all legal.
In the end, what else? Did they try and shift any hot stuff? Look, I know the whitetails. I know the kind of pressure they try to put on good businessmen like Kieran. I'm just trying to help out the good guys here.
Okay, Kane came in with a few boxes of wine, the flash stuff, and he forced Kieran to sell it on. He didn't want to do it.
Kieran told you this, or you figured it out?
There's some crates that need bringing in.
Detective Bill Lamont.
Yeah, I remember you.
Can you spare 5 minutes?
So, you're not grumpy?
Well, you sent down the best locum available. I can't be grumpy with that.
And at least it'll keep Callum busy for a little while.
Your hand's still numb, isn't it? Tell me the truth.
Yes, it is a little bit. But don't say anything, and if I have any symptoms while I'm doing admin, then no one's going to get hurt, are they?
Oh,
You put Xavier in ED again.
I'm not here.
And book the others in for surgery.
Well, the list was backed up and I'm out of action.
How on
so...
earth can I train my team when they're running around after you? Just consult me first, please.
What in hell's name did you think you were doing?
Sorry?
You virtually admitted this hospital was responsible.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
The interview.
What did you say?
Well, just that we thought we were being supplied with good quality product, when in fact
You
Mrs.
made
Bio
the
was giving us...
staff sound lazy, like they couldn't be bothered checking the products themselves.
Well, we don't check them ourselves.
The public doesn't need to know that. Now they'll stop trusting surgeons, cancel their ops, go overseas.
Well, I think it's better to be honest up front than have to deal with some sleazy expose.
The public don't want honesty. They want to believe they can trust the medical profession.
Well, perhaps we should talk again once there's been a public reaction to the interview. Now, if you don't mind, I have a lot of work to do.
Don't we all?
Did I just win?
Sure did.
What about you? Did I win there too?
No, of course not.
To be honest, it took me a while to realise Ethan wasn't as legitimate as he seemed. But when I found out what he was doing with those bodies, it was hard to believe. It was disgusting, so I cut all ties.
Just like that. I sincerely doubt Ethan would let someone as useful as you get away.
Useful?
A man like Ethan needed a bit of muscle around him.
Me?
Someone who has no fear, who will take on anyone who gets in his way.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Justin Salt. He knows what I'm talking about. We all know you practically tortured the poor bugger. There's a reason you're a suspect in the Strangler case.
The case that's now closed.
Still, your mug was on the corkboard for a while there. I bet you gave Kane Harvey a run for his money too.
That was to do with the dance parties.
Whitetails, you see, they like guys who can hold their own. Otherwise, they wouldn't give you the time of day, let alone do backroom deals with you. Okay, I'll let you get on. One more thing before I go. Do you know who this is?
No.
His name's Don Lennox.
Sorry, I've never seen him before.
We both know that's a lie. And I'll be back with evidence to prove it.